I ain't gonna lie, I don't know what the fuck be happening around this beat, but I had no clue what the fuck we going on. Let me tell you, Sean. But oh, why is that up there? That's tough. Get that camera out of my face.
It's over.
Gracie, go get out. Oh my! This is the group. This is the pod. This is what it is.
What it is?
Worry. Like what? Go to.
I'm tired.
We don't give a fuck, nigga.
Nah.
We don't care about none of that.
I'm nervous.
Yo. What even is this? Yo. That is crazy. I don't ever say that. But what even is this? What was it? I said episode 4, episode 5, and we got the one and only Miss. I almost said Miss Fitzsimmons. Miss Big Mama Justice.
Ooh, in the house.
We got Big Mama Justice in the house, man. We're actually at her house, so of course you can see the difference and everything. So not the difference, but it's a different background. But we're here. Hopefully the audio sounds fine, good quality, and it's not as hot as it usually is in my room. But yeah, this is my mom, and I'm her son.
It's just like me.
We talked about it. We actually talked about you a couple times in the podcast. We brought up how the first episode we were talking with Five, how we met and how you went up to him and you're like, oh, I have a son, and he was talking about how he didn't realize that the lady that talked to him, we were your sons because the color difference or whatever. But he said we had cute little light-skinned pig noses or something like that. I don't know.
Button noses.
Button noses. Yeah. But
What's up, buttons?
yeah, that's it. But I was asking you earlier. I don't know really what you want to talk about, and for some reason I was nervous about it. But everybody, I mean, I say everybody. Five, he's excited to hear what you're gonna talk about and stuff. So that being said, what do you want?
Well, what even is this?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's the name. Oh, that would have been bad. But yeah, so I don't know. You were saying something about I don't know. Explain.
Sure. So one of the things that I was saying was that I'm 50 years old, and at 50 years
Don't
old,
look like it.
it's got the mullet. At 50 years old, I've lived 50 years, and I feel like for 50 years I've been learning and learning and learning, and now I've got the next 50 years to apply what I've learned, and that's kind of what I've decided to do.
That's deep.
Which is why I do the things I do that annoy you so bad. Because I don't want, superficially, just like it's what all parents say, I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made, and I want better for you, and I want the things that I never have for you to have, and things like that.
Okay.
And so, those are the kind of things. And I mean, there's so many different topics we could go into: health, religion, financial, all those things. So, you pick one, we could start.
Jeez.
I know that I'll cut you off after I
No,
just
you're
said
good.
that.
Talk.
But one of the things, like, I know that Grammy, my mom, does is, like, she says so many hurtful things, and I find myself doing that, and and that's when I came upon the realization that, we're kind of like, for this reason, like, I have so many things that I want to say to you, but I realized that it's not my business, and I know how I was. I wanted to experience my life, and and I have to let you do the same, and that's what everybody has to do. I can kind of tell you all the things that you should do this, you should do this, but then you're not living your life. You're living the life I'm telling you to live. And Pop, my dad, grandpa, is he's told me this story once. He said, you're it was about giving an opinion, and he said, if I walk into your house and you've painted the house, your kitchen purple, I'm not going to say anything. But if you ask me, do I like how you painted my kitchen purple, then I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And so if you have not asked me, hey, how should I do this? What should I do with that? Then I shouldn't be giving you my opinion, because that is only going to come across to you as criticism. Well, most of the time. Now, do we know Grammy's heart? Yes. We know that she loves us beyond measure, but it still hurts.
Oh yeah.
It still hurts. She stings me too. She gets me too. And
I
so
think when you were shown, so I don't want to mess up
no,
your
no,
train
go
of
ahead, go
thought.
ahead.
I was saying, I think I'm pretty sure when you first came in here, when you moved here, and you were showing it, and then she had made a little comment or something. Which this place to me is way better than where you were living. Beautiful place, but I just feel like did she say something? I don't want to be on here slaughtering Grammy, but I'm just saying,
No, of course
didn't
not.
she say something though? Like this is somewhere I would move or I wouldn't move something. I don't know. I just remember it was something, and I don't want to say the wrong
I
thing.
don't remember. There's so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Jeez.
don't want to, I'm not trying to, slaughter her
No,
either,
no,
as you
yeah,
said.
yeah.
But, but it's just,
And you're not even close to, because you were saying I don't want to. You said that you don't want to come across like Grammy. You've never,
yeah, but
never.
you think I haven't, but I know that I have, even just with the last family time we had Easter. I know that I realized that I went too far and I should have backed off. Um, I
Well, okay, well,
but that happens to me in my whole life, not just with my children. Sometimes I look at Nancy, stop, that was too much, because, shut up, Nancy. I just, how you talk too much. You ever get to that point? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
so
like
that's
me,
what I'm talking.
Grizz. Me and Grizz are yappers. We're
Yeah,
all
yappers.
yappers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good way of
Leo
putting it.
too.
Pop, not so much. He's a man of
Yeah.
few words. But so anyway, that's the kind of where I'm coming at. Is like I'm looking at sharing anything of my past 50 years that I could share with you or share with them, y'all, whatever, and might be of interest or not. I don't know, but I would like to get answers too. I'd like to get answers to how that makes you feel,
Okay.
or what.
I'll give you
And
answers.
absolutely, and just I love that we can do this to have some honesty. Where my feelings are gonna get hurt, yours aren't gonna get hurt. This is
Well,
this is. Oh, I'm not gonna let my feelings get hurt over this because I'm asking for you to be honest so I can learn. Again, this is what I want to do. I want to learn, right?
yeah.
So, and if I can come out on the other side of this with a better relationship with you and your brothers and Jesse, shout out Five.
Bye.
Hey, I would love to, to do that, and I want to have a relationship with my granddaughter that's pleasing too, where I see how Grammy, you know, y'all's relationship with Grammy, again, we know she loves us, and
You love her too. She's just really, really rough sometimes.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to receive the things that she says
Yeah.
in love because they don't come out in love.
Yep.
Comes out as criticism. Really? In my
I'm
house?
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I'm sorry.
I won't tell if you don't.
Okay.
Of course, it's on video now.
It's all right. Red Dave ain't gonna watch this.
I might make him watch
Oh.
what Andrew did. No, I'm just playing. He might watch it. You should have one with him. Talk sports.
No, yeah, but we would, bro. When we were talking about that with Fox, I'm gonna have my mom because I know that it'd be a good pod. Like you have a lot to say, and it's just more of like you're definitely a person to have a conversation with. Like same thing with Leo, you know what I'm saying? But I said, Dad would be a good person to. I say a good person, but I'm sure he has stories he could tell or whatever.
Sure.
And we even said, bro, Dave, like we could
Oh,
talk
yeah.
sports or just whatever. It's just
Oh, Dave's got some good stuff.
Yeah.
In sports.
'cause it could,
He's lived a pretty rich life, like of experiences.
Yeah, but
you don't get to hear him, but I do.
yeah, but
Sometimes more than once.
yeah, but he's it I can't even think of the word, but
Now
would
I
be
can't
good.
let him hear this one after I
Yeah.
said that.
it would be good for him too, especially on some sports stuff too,
Yeah.
definitely. But
Yeah, he's overcome a lot. He's a great guy.
no, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, where do we start? Yeah,
I'll let you rattle off however you want to go. However you want to go, and make sure you're doing fine. But when you get kind of low, just make sure, because I have like the noise suppression on, so I don't want it like cutting your words off as you're talking. So just make sure you're loud. Like you're doing fine. I'm watching the levels, so I'm pretty sure you're doing okay. I just don't want it to.
I've been trying to keep it close.
No, yeah, you've been doing fine. So, well, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I think one of my biggest ones, or let me say it a different way, the most important one would be religion or spirituality, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that is probably my biggest. We're being honest, right? My biggest heartache
Yeah.
is not having. I would love to have all my children in church with me every Sunday and see that. One of the things that this brings up to me is that not did you see that? Did you see that go? There goes my thought right there. It just flew away. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went.
It's all right. It happened.
Woo!
Trust me.
Goodness. Okay, so I was saying, oh, I know what I was gonna say is the potential that I see. And so this is the parenting and the spiritual together and what I've learned. So it's, like I can see the potential in you that to do this or to do that, and I see it in your brothers as well. And I say, man, if they just use that for God,
Yeah.
I would be they would be so amazing. I mean, they would almost be famous because of their ability. Like that's how great you are at that particular thing. And I don't necessarily need to
No,
tell
yeah.
what it is, but I mean, I could blow you up right here and be like, yeah, you're so
No,
great.
yeah, no,
You're
you're
so
good.
great.
No.
But you have so much. I remember when you were younger, like in the teen class and stuff, and people follow you. You could get anybody to follow you, and to this day,
Mhm.
I really believe you have that as well. So you at work, and and your friends and stuff. And I'm not saying they're not leaders in their lives too, but you have that innate ability. It's just in you to be a leader. And if you were to take that and use it for God, where would you go?
Yeah.
Man, you'd be Moses.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you'd
Yeah.
be leading the people right through, And I believe the most what's the word I'm looking for? The most not receiving, relieving. I guess where I find my biggest relief or my I can't think of a word that I want for it right now, but that you do have a spiritual side. And I do believe that you love God. I do believe that
Yeah.
you believe in God.
Yes.
I don't think you are um away from God in the sense of I don't got time for him or I don't believe in that anymore.
No,
I
no.
don't believe that. I believe that you still love him, you still know him, you still talk to him, and you do those things because of all the times you've called me and said, "Mom, pray for me." Or, "Mom, I got this person that, I'm trying to talk to." I remember COVID and you were so worried. I can't remember who it was. Was it Angel?
You got to remind me what it was.
And you were like, "Mom, I'm so afraid." You didn't say you were afraid. I don't want to say afraid, but you were so concerned about him. You were witnessing to him, and it was COVID, and COVID was taking people out. And you just were like, "Mom, I'm so worried about him. I've been telling him about, getting saved." And you were witnessing somebody. What about, no, Paw's boy?
Pause, boy.
Paw.
Marcos?
Marcos, was it Marcos you were witnessing to? It was in that time from when you were. It was in 2020 actually. I don't know where you were working.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Or
But
it was
I'm trying
after
to.
that, but something was like death was kind of like, man, what if you die?
Yeah.
COVID and stuff, and you were concerned about the
Oh, who
person.
was that?
I don't know. It was either Marcos or Angel.
No, if it was Marcos or Angel, I would remember.
it was somebody that you.
Because I was telling you, I
still
was
talk to.
talking to somebody that didn't really. Oh man,
But they said I want to say they were open to what you were saying, and maybe they even said that they were saved. But you were telling me how basically you were telling me that you were witnessing is my point.
Yeah.
And it was like, my mind was blown that day. Here, no, you're not attending church. No, you're not doing this or that. But you're out there witnessing to people,
Yeah.
and that was, So I know it's in you. I know the Holy Spirit works on you. I know He does, and even if you don't act on it, as I don't always either. So
No,
I'm not
yeah.
trying to be like, "Oh, I'm so holy."
No,
I'm
no.
no saint myself.
Oh, well, people look at you like that. Like people that know you.
Well,
Promise.
yeah, I'm not.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Spoiler alert. Nancy's not cool. Or not. I am. Well, I'm really cool.
No, everybody, all my friends that actually know you love you. So.
Well, I like them too, because any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
No, yeah.
So, except that one. No, I'm just playing. And y'all can figure out which one you are. No, I'm just teasing. I really, but anyway, you were doing that. So spiritually, I know it's in you. Wish you could use that for the Lord. I see it in your brothers too. And it just, I'm sure that people see it in me, oh, if you could just use that talent for the Lord, or whatever.
For sure.
And we could look at it everywhere, but also extremely concerned, extended through you, knowing, Anna Lee in my life.
Yeah,
I took it like you're like I was gonna whisper, right?
You're fine.
But like Anna Lee, I really, like she's not in church,
Mm-hmm.
and I know how important it is to be in church at a young age in order to create those foundations. Be clear. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to say brainwashing
No,
or
no.
anything like that. I'm not trying to manipulate her. But if you like, I have kids in church right now that come to me that don't know the story of Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Noah's Ark.
And it's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. And no, you don't have to know every detail of it, but you didn't know there was a flood and a boat
Yeah.
and all this other
Two
stuff.
by twos. And,
Yeah, all those little things. It just seems like a nursery rhyme to me.
yeah.
Like every kid should know it or would know it, but they don't. They don't even know God as a creator. And so that, like, well, at church, it blows my mind, and it's even harder because as I'm trying to teach these stories that I think are exciting, like Abraham, who's traveling around and well, maybe Abraham's a little like old for them Sodom and Gomorrah stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're, when you're teaching them Noah's Ark, like, meh, it's like, what? No, this is exciting. And I'm trying to be like, this is exciting. Like, he lied to Pharaoh. Pharaoh's
Yeah.
going to kill him. But
Yeah.
Pharaoh was nice because God was with him, and just teaching him all these things and the promises that he got. And I want to teach them about God's promises. Anyway, I want that for my granddaughter. And, I feel like, I know she did get a foundation in the Christian school.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that. And for a time, she did have that. But, and now she's becoming of an age that she's going to start hearing other religions, other things. But if the parents aren't there and then, doing that. And so I wish that for you. I pray that for you, that you'll be in it so I can have my granddaughter in it so she can use her potential and stuff like that. And don't let me leave out Nicole because she's got some mad crazy talents too that I could see her blow up in the church. She'd like be the amazing nursery worker lady. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. She loves them babies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She loves them babies.
Like, and these are the things that I know in our church alone, is in need of all those things. And I just like, if I could just have my kids here,
Yeah.
So in the sense of religion. So then I'm gonna turn it back to you now. So what is it? What is it that keeps you from God?
I'm not gonna say from God.
Well,
you can say
okay,
from,
from serving God.
Oh man. Okay. Well, dang. Okay. So how can I answer this?
Is it just pleasure? I mean, self-pleasure?
I mean, I would say. I guess I would say selfish. I don't know. It's just. It's just not something. It's just. See, this is crazy. It's just not something I want to do. But it's not like. It's not that I don't want to like. Oh man, I don't. This is.
You can bring it straight up and honest. You're the one that's gonna
I know.
this in the end.
No.
Give it to me straight and honest. I want to learn what you're feeling. That's why I'm here.
Okay, it's because how do you mean that? Like, how do you mean like you're talking about just like use my
talents for God?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start off with one. Why don't you come to church?
Okay, that's a better one.
That's an easy one. Right?
Okay, that's.
No, you said it was gonna be easy. It's all right.
It's not that. Well, it's just I don't want to. Like that's the easiest way I can literally say it, is I don't want to. Like it's not. It's there was a time where we would like when we were like when we weren't kids, when we were all moved out, where I would come to church and it's just okay. Like I believe in God. I love God. I'm a Christian. I'm not a good Christian at all. I will say that I'm not a good Christian at all.
None good, no,
like,
not one.
Yeah, I know, but
I know
people like what I'm saying, like
yeah.
It's anyways, but one thing is I've seen two churches, and it's two churches fall apart. But I've just seen the bull that be going on. I say behind the scenes. Grace, that was crazy to me. What happened at Grace was crazy. How all that happened. It's not like, and that's just one little thing. But it's just I just see how people perceive themselves. I say Christians, and I don't mean to say it like that, but I just see how they perceive themselves. But it's like I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to me. Like people that are in power. Like for instance, I'm not gonna say Grace did that, but Grace. Just how that whole went down, it was just weird to me. It's like I thought we were in this for God and snap, but now you're just snaking the guy that we. It was just weird, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then I don't even gotta say what is it. I don't even know was it Faith? Was that the name of the school or the
school's Deltona Christian School?
And you know how I feel about that. Yeah,
I know all the details.
Yeah, we don't need to go in
sure,
there. But I just don't. But my point
And
is,
I'm gonna interject because here's another point. I'm telling you that I know that you're, you know, that you believe in God. I know that you do have a spiritual side. I'm not taking that because even after all that, you came back,
no,
you came
yeah,
again, you
yeah,
tried, but it was the church, not you.
yeah,
It was the church, not God,
yeah,
that did that to you.
yeah. No, no,
It
no,
was
yeah,
those people.
no, yeah. And you're right. But it's just like the best way I can explain it for that. It's just not that God's fake. I'm not saying that God, but it's just to me, it's just a whole bunch of fake people. Like you sit here and act like you're all high and mighty and on your pedestal, or you're this and that, but then you go back and do the exact same thing that you're talking about, which is it's humans. We're not perfect, but I'm just saying, and it's just like I'm just tired of going there and seeing that, and a lot of it is I don't want to. Now there's times the church right now is cool, that's fine, but I mean, and I don't have to go to that church, but it's like it's just sometimes I just don't want to. Now there's times where you'll ask me and I want to go. Specifically, I should have went Easter, but I'm not gonna lie, I was tired. Like I was done. It's a long drive and all this stuff, but what I can say is I don't want to go to church. Like I don't want to go to church. It's the best way to say it. If I don't go, it's because I don't want to. Like that's just the easiest way I could say that. But like I will make, what's the word? There'll be times where I'll come, like, you know what I'm saying? This may not be every time you want me to go. You want me to go every day. I can tell you now it's not gonna be every day. Or not every day, but
I
every
understand
time.
every Sunday.
And then when we were young, we were like we had no choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we were constantly in, which I'm not mad. It's not gonna say I'm mad at you about that, but it's just like I don't know. It's just like now I'm an adult, I make my own decisions. That's just the decision I make. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
That's the
So
best way I could
when
say
you
that.
don't want to go, is it because you don't want to get up? Because you don't want to expend the energy to go? Or is it, I don't want to go to that building? Does that make sense what I'm asking? Is it just
Yeah.
that you don't want to use the energy to do it? Or is it that you don't actually physically want to go into a church?
It's more on the fact of I just don't want to go to church. Like I just don't want to go to church. Like
So it's
it's
not about,
yeah. I mean, definitely. Faith. Yes, it was that. I just
well,
don't want to
yeah,
mess with those people. That's a whole
right.
different.
I get you.
It's there was that, but that even then it was more easier because it was right there, and I would go and I'd feel good, make my mom happy, da da da, and then I'd go home. You know what I'm saying? It was like that, but there's a lot more to it because you live a way out here now, and I'm not gonna
Well,
go
I
to.
understand that, yeah.
The thing is, you say you can go to a church and stuff like that, but it's like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna go to a church that you're not at. Like I'm just not doing that. I don't know, like.
Well, let me just give a little shout out, a little plug right now. Mother's Day is right around the corner.
No, for
It's,
sure.
yeah,
You already
I
know.
I expect to see
No,
you.
you
Shirt and
already know.
tie,
Shirt and
fancy
tie. It's shirt
shoes.
and tie is
Yeah, no, I'm
crazy.
just teasing.
But you already you
I'm
already
totally
know.
joking.
Like I said,
I'm on this beach side though. It's not like that. People don't. It's different over here than it is over there.
no,
Well,
yeah, it's I know.
first of
It's
all, the
nice. I
people
like
are
it.
different.
Yeah,
But
no,
I'm
I like
talking
it.
about the way people dress, the way people think, and at church and stuff. It's so different.
No,
It's
yeah, no.
it's
I
really
like this
different for
church. I like
me.
this church.
It's also refreshing at times.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same that
I
pedestal
like
stuff.
Grace. Obviously
Yeah.
Starlight. I like love Grace. I'm not gonna say I like her. I love Grace. Like it was smooth and we were going when back when I was moving, we were going. And then all that stuff happened and it was just like what?
Yeah.
But Faith, that just wasn't like that. And I hate to say it, but that's kind of what I feel like where it started like shit for me. Like to be honest. And so I'm gonna put that out there.
Well,
But
here's one of the things as a parent that I did that I realized later that you can say I messed up, whatever. I messed up a lot. So is that when you guys were growing up, you were made to do it all.
yeah.
You were made to. And you guys, I didn't realize it at the time because I thought you guys, liked it, so I didn't realize it at the time that maybe it wasn't, everything that, and I wasn't respectful of your thoughts about things.
I mean, before you say we were kids, so I mean, you're supposed, we gotta do what you want us to do. It's not like
So, but at that young age, what I could have been, not should have been, I don't know, should have, could have been doing is saying, okay, hey, you know, at giving you choices within those boundaries so that you can make a choice and feel like it was yours instead of me making you go.
yeah,
And it almost sounds like I'm saying I would have manipulated you. But no, it would have been freedom to give you choices. I didn't do that. I didn't, and that's not just in church. It was in everything. I didn't give you freedom and choice. And so you never, I'm not going to say you never learned. You did learn to make choices, but it made it where you know, when it was time to make the choice,
Yeah.
you chose whatever you wanted,
Yeah.
and you took that choice on your own. You didn't ask me for what did I think or anything. It was just like, look, I don't have to listen to you anymore. My choice is this. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that happened even especially I think with Leo going to college. You know, he I never let him make choices at home for these things. So when he went out there, they were telling him other things, and he took that in
Yeah.
and had to consider it.
Yep.
And that's where he was able to filter everything through and then come make his own decisions. And some of his decisions didn't come to the decisions I wanted them to be.
No,
But I wish
yeah.
I would have helped to teach you guys to make decisions when you were younger. That's really what I'm saying. And I'm not just talking about religion. I'm talking about in everything.
No, yeah.
So, that way you would have grown up and said, okay, I'm faced with this decision and now I'm going to weigh it out and I'm going to do this and this. And, and yes, what does God think of this? What does mom think of this? What does dad think of this? What does, Brother Dave think of this? What does my wife think of this? What does my kid think of this? What do my grandparents think of this?
Yeah.
That like I wish I would have taught you that process, and I didn't. And so religion was part of that, spiritual, church, stuff like that. And so, I understand that, it's, a decision that you've made now. So churches,
But like I said, like it's not that I'm never gonna go. I'm still like I'm gonna pop up every now and then. It's like, and like I said, I should have came Easter. It was just that week was horrible.
it's all good. I'm not. Well,
But I even told Nicole, I'm like, we should have went. Cause Nicole, like if I say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing it. Like she's gonna,
support you.
yeah, she's gonna.
She's wonderful.
But yeah, she's gonna go. But it's just, I told you can, like I said, you can ask her. I told her, I'm like, I should have went. I feel horrible, but I was just. No, you're good. Bless you. But it's not like it's not an excuse. But
well, I'll tell you what I did that Saturday, and I kept making the joke. That's what I did too much. I kept making the joke.
No, it wasn't bothering me.
You know where there's really good AC?
Yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
Oh, you know where there's food?
Yeah.
Church. And I kept doing that, and the first couple of times might have been funny, but I played.
But I wasn't mad or nothing. Like I understand. Like
in the end, you were ignoring me, and I knew that I had gone too far.
no, but I promise I wasn't like, bro, like it wasn't like I was mad or nothing.
Yes, he was.
No, I wasn't. And, well, if you remember that day, Brendan came out, ate his food. He literally went in the room, went to sleep. I ate because we celebrated Easter early. It was that Saturday, and then Easter was Sunday. And then I ate my food, and I ended up falling asleep. So I don't even, that day was a blur to me. Not a blur to me, but really what it came down to is they really feel like Easter because Grammy and Pop-Up weren't there, I feel like, too. It felt like
That's
Easter, but it's just like we're usually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It was Easter.
It was funny because it was like we
plus
thought
I didn't have the raisin bread. You gave us scones, though. Yeah,
she doesn't make raisin bread anymore. She makes scones. That's why I made them.
Oh, because
I
was
miss the
wondering.
raisin bread too, right? Bring back the raisin bread.
Bring back the raisin.
What
bread.
even is this?
Yeah, that's crazy. You like Jesse be doing that. What even is this?
So yeah, I think we should bring back the raisin bread. I thought the raisin bread. I liked the scones.
The scones are no, they were good. They were good.
The raisin bread was what
it
I
goes
used
with
to
the
tell
egg and it's just
exactly. And when I used to tell Grammy that, and she said she used to send it to my brothers, your uncles, and she was like, "Do y'all even eat it?" And they're like, not really. Or something, only this person likes it or whatever.
No,
so she stopped making it for them, and she started making scones.
Lily's right there. We ate them.
Yeah, well, the scones, yeah, but I'm talking about the raisin bread. So that's why she stopped making raisin bread.
Oh, that was the best. You put the butter, you got the egg with the salt, and you did it, and then you and it's like it was good.
Yeah, making yummy noises over here. Yeah. No, I know, and it tasted like Easter, right?
Yeah,
it just tasted like Easter, and I thought that too. I think we were also relieved. We all felt such a I'll say relief, like the stress level was zero.
No, yeah, maybe that's part of it.
Maybe that's and so it wasn't intense that we had to do this and this and this, and please her.
Yeah,
and so
or worry about where we're sitting and what fork.
She was so mad when I told her we did not sit at the table.
Oh,
she was
we
lit.
didn't.
No, some of us did.
Yeah,
I
but
said,
it was just
we
like
just spread out.
It was laid back.
Well, y'all would fit around the table. Why didn't you sit? I was like,
you weren't even there. Yeah.
What even is this?
Yeah, for real.
But and then she always wants to play games and stuff like that. And you guys never like to play games with me. We were talking about the stress levels that
Yeah, but we were going in about something.
Uh,
I hate
so
that.
that maybe that was why it didn't feel like Easter, but we were talking about, going to church and things like that.
Yeah, we did kind of
okay?
veer off.
Okay, so then my other question to you is, okay, so you don't want to go to church. I get that. I understand you. I don't agree with you,
No,
but I
I know, I
understand you.
know, I know.
I hear you. I do. So my next question is then, what is it that keeps you from serving God? Or you, like you were saying, like I was saying, using your talents for God.
Oh, man, like once again, it's kind of the same heritage because it's just like I don't know, like it's not. I don't know. It's just I'm like I don't know. It's just because whatever I'm doing, my talents or whatever it is. It's because that's. It's not that It sounds horrible to say that's not what I want to do, but it's not what I want to do, and I'm just doing what I want to do. Like that's what it comes down to. I don't really know how else to really explain it
Do
or
you
say it.
do you weigh that in according to what He did for you?
Oh, of course I can't. You can't even. You can't even do that. See, you can't even do that. Like,
So
not
it's
saying you can't do that, but I'm saying like
no, no,
you
no.
can't. It doesn't. Obviously, that's going to outweigh
Right,
anything.
but it's not enough. I'm literally just talking with you just to feel you. Like, to get to understand what you're thinking, and that is, when you think that, when you consider what He did for you
Mm-hmm.
and what you don't do for Him, or the choice not to do for Him, um, is it just a numbness to it, or do you like, or are you like, I'm saved, or is it, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of the, the numbness that I would say it's kind of a bit of both, to be honest. And it's kind of the whole thing where it was just like I say my whole childhood, which like I said still doesn't outweigh what he did. But I'm saying like same. It's just it's just like I was a kid doing all this stuff. Like I remember being uncomfortable. I remember being super uncomfortable going to like these neighborhoods and having to go, knock on these people's door and stand with you while we're talking to kids. Or you said, "Oh, go do this, do that," and it's kind of just one of those things. It's just like I don't know.
And so, I still to this day struggle with that. So,
Yeah,
like, I'm in a position in my life right now where I can't get past myself to, I'll see somebody and the Holy Spirit be like, "Hey, go talk to them," and I'll be
yeah,
like, "Mm-mm,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no, no." Rest in peace.
yeah.
Anyway, so it's like that. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. I get that part of it. But I guess more so like in your friend zone, in your friend space. So that sounds like a weird thing, but in your bromances, in all your
That,
friends there. I mean, like, truly, if you were to take a step toward God, I believe they would too, or could.
I mean, we can go with that. I remember we had Sky. We've had all of our. Well, I'm not gonna say Angel, but I'm saying more back in the day. We've had Skylar come. We've had
Hmm.
Jesse come.
Oh, I remember when Chandler came. That was
Yeah, and
horrible.
that was that
That was
faith.
terrible. I
Yeah,
know. I know.
and that was the whole thing. But yeah, I would say we've had friends come. It's just like I don't know. I don't know.
It's good. It's
And it's
good.
not like we don't talk about. It's not like we don't talk about like I say. It's not like we sit around and talk about God. It's not like that at all. But it's like I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just it's not like he's just absent. From my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, from what you're saying, I guess yeah he is. But like I mean, we still pray. Like
I don't think
I
he's
don't know.
absent from your life. No, I hope I haven't come across that he's
No,
absent from
but
your
just to get
life.
some clarity.
It's just your service for him might be absent, but not he's not. I
Yeah.
know he's not absent. I've said that's why I kind of said those other things. It's evidence to me that it is evident, and there is evidence that that God is in your life. That
No.
I
Yeah.
know that, because you wouldn't ask me to pray for you if you didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just pray that he can work in your heart gently where you can, answer him. That would be my prayer.
Yeah.
So I think we sufficiently covered that. We probably could move to something new.
No. No. You're good. You're
Not
good.
that I could ever quit talking about God, because I could keep coming, but
I already knew. I already told Papa. I'm like I know she's gonna ask me why did I not go to church anymore. I told him I know she's gonna bring that up.
that's funny.
Not in
Well,
a bad way, but I
yeah.
was just saying like
Well,
I know
it's
it's
such a
coming.
dominant thing for me.
No,
It's
yeah.
my whole being, really. And it's it is who I am. And
No, yeah, there's nothing
but
wrong with it.
but at the same time, if I'm being absolutely honest, I am not, people look at me a certain way, and I'm like, I wish I was the person you see me as.
Yeah.
I know I'm not, I know I'm not.
Well, yeah, but no one's perfect. But I
Well, I
mean,
know, but but even some of the things like those kids at camp, it's funny to me. I realize the kids at camp, they like, yay, Miss Justice, or they call me Miss Nancy there, Miss Nancy. They're like, hey, Miss Nancy. Kids will be coming up to me at all kinds of churches if I go to a conference and be like, hey, Miss Nancy, and I'm like, hi, honey,
you
because
dumb.
like you don't know their name.
Yeah.
You recognize their little faces and stuff, and sometimes they grow up, and I'm like, I didn't recognize you. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. You know, um, now most of them are getting married and having kids and stuff. So but I believe some of these kids didn't know me like from Starlight. At first, it was kids from Starlight, but it is what has been, I guess you would call it, a reputation.
Yeah.
My testimony, and I believe that it's the parents and the leaders that have now put that to the children for me, because I get that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do not deserve this admiration that you
Yeah.
are giving
But
me. I have not done due diligence for that. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so humble. I'm not trying to be like that. But I'm just saying I struggle. I struggle bad with that. And I need to, I work harder now to work for that reputation, to be deserving of it, because I'm not.
I
I
mean,
really not.
you say that, but like, what was I just? I feel like I was telling Five how the kid like a couple. It was a minute ago now, but how we had obviously we talk about Bashar a lot too, but how it was a couple years ago about how the class you taught in kindergarten or something, they were like going to like ninth grade or they were graduating.
Um, yeah, because 10th, they were leaving 10th grade because the school only went to 10th grade.
Yes, okay. And what my point was, is I told Fife that these kids knew mom, like remember mom from when they were in kindergarten, and like when mom went and the kids that were still there, they all literally remembered her. But I told him how those kids, the kids that I can't remember how many it were, 'cause I remember I was just like anxiety, like, oh my god, I hope Mr. Carrot doesn't come talk to me, or I hope da da da. But I just remember how those kids reacted, and those were kids that you taught, like, was it kindergarten?
The kindergarten was
Okay.
graduating from 10th
So
grade.
they were that young, went that many years, didn't see you, saw you, and they were freaking out like that. It was just crazy.
They actually invited me to that.
I know, but still, I'm just saying it was just insane to see that, like how you have that effect on,
It is
like,
to me too.
yeah, but that's what I'm
It
saying.
is
But
to me too.
I say that to say the fact that you're sitting there saying I don't deserve that, da, 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 but obviously you have an impact. You know what I'm saying, like on these kids and all this stuff for them to still feel the same way. So I don't know. I feel like you're selling yourself a little short when you say that,
Well,
and I'm not even like
I hear you. I give glory to God then for it.
boosting you. I'm being so serious.
It is that's God has given me moments in my life to show me or to encourage me to keep going. One of my I'm getting emotional. Okay. One of the moments I'll share this moment with you, because you weren't there, and I would love for you to know this about your mom.
Tell
Um,
me.
when we were at camp, and that was the year I had cancer, and
Mm.
I went to camp, and that first Monday I was there, we didn't have so I had already had surgery, and I knew I was going to have another surgery, but for something else, won't go there. And I was going to have to go get radiation. I knew that, but we were waiting on what they call the oncotype score, which blows my mind that you can do a blood test to tell whether or not you need, or to tell whether or not chemotherapy will be effective for you. It's called an oncotype. That
Hmm.
blew my mind that they can tell through your blood.
If chemo's gonna work for you?
Right.
Oh
Because
wow, I
so
didn't know that.
because because chemo is damaging to your body.
Yeah, yeah.
Thoroughly damaging to your body. And if in the past, people just had to get chemotherapy because that's what you did. But now they can test you to see, will
Even
you,
worth it.
yeah, and there's a score. If you're a low score, no. If you're a high score, yes. That means it's effective. And if it's a middle score, and anyway, that Monday I was at camp, I found out my middle score. So there I am at camp. You know, I don't have to do chemo. I don't have to lose my hair, which
I remember
I was
that.
growing it out at the time because I was like, we're going to have a party.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have a party and we're going to make my hair cut and, you know, we're all going to be
'Cause
part of
I
that.
don't remember when you got it, but I remember hearing that you didn't have to do that, and I was like, by the
Yeah.
way, cancer survivor.
Woo woo.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't say that.
Oh, we could
but
talk about cancer too. I'll cry the
yeah.
whole way through that one.
Yeah.
But so I was
Ugh.
at camp and I chose, like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do camp because I had surgery and it was early enough and the doctor released me. I gave the go ahead to Brother Nate. I said, "Yep, I can do it. As long as you'll have me, I'm there." So they let me come in and I did camp that week. It was we had a blast. And I
Yeah.
was for all pretenses, I guess I was well,
Yeah.
it wasn't, it probably wasn't easy, but I wasn't
You know, let it affect
I
you.
really don't remember, like it being
Yeah,
bad.
there's
I
a
just
lot going
remember I
on.
went to camp. Well, that Thursday night they had the big awards thing and everything, and Brother Nate, I don't I say blow me up, but that sounds like it's bad, right? What is like he
What do you mean? Like,
he
we
gave
say
me
gassed or glazed, but glazed
meaning
sounds kind of
good.
crazy. Yeah, like he like boosts your ego type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So he's up at the pulpit. I'm always in the back. I always stand in the back, and they, because I kind of guard the door and tell the kids, "No, you can't go to the bathroom. What are you, little heathen?" No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'll do it. But and then at the end, we all go up for the altar and everything, and then we come back. And I don't want to take somebody's seat, especially the last night. It's really crowded, so I just stand. And plus,
Yeah,
if
the
you
last
can,
nights were always crowded.
also in the back of those back rooms always have the air conditioner and the fans, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
so it's always nicer back there. But anyway, I just started standing back there, and and he always gives me a shout out, thank you, that's a shout out. But this time he really glazed me, and that sounds not nice. Sorry,
Yeah.
it didn't sound good.
Anyways, he hyped you up.
He hyped me
He
up. There
hyped you up.
Yeah.
We're gonna say that.
He hyped me up. Okay. Edit glazed.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like that term.
It's
I know what
but
glazed can mean.
exactly. But that's how it sounds. What it means. Like it's saying like
no.
there's another word that people. Yeah. So.
Don't put this on the outtakes. Just delete it.
No.
Okay, so he hyped me up, and he gave me accolades, from the pulpit, and he announced that I had cancer. I came to camp
And he
anyway,
still came and did what you had to do.
and I got chills just now. And they all stood up and
Really?
gave me a standing ovation.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm back there and I don't know what to do. So I'm like blowing kiss, and it didn't stop.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yay, sit down. No, it was like, it was long. I
didn't know about this.
I know you weren't there.
Yeah, but
And in
I
the
feel like you would
moment,
have told me.
isn't that bragging? I don't know. I guess that's what I'm doing now, but I'm
No.
telling you the story now. So there I am, and
That's fire.
and they're all clapping and everything, and I'm blowing kisses and pointing to God, giving like a football player,
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
all I know to do.
Yeah.
Giving a heart and giving hearts,
Yeah.
I'm making eye contact with people like the president, going,
Yeah.
I'm doing all this, and in the moment I was very happy. I was very touched. I didn't cry at that moment.
Surprised,
It
honestly.
didn't. Yeah, I am too. But sometimes when you're in a happy moment, you don't cry. It's when you reflect and you
Yeah.
think about it. But so then later on, I was talking with Brother Mike, Brother Mike Carrington,
Yep.
and he said to me, he was like, I can't remember how the conversation started, and I think I was thanking him for all he did or whatever, and he said, no, he's like, and he said something to me, and he said, yeah, but I never got a standing ovation. And I think what I was telling him was, I think that's what it's going to be like in heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't remember the conversation now, but he said, but he pointed out to me, because at the time did not occur to me that they were on their feet. I didn't notice. And when he pointed out, they were standing. Everybody in that building was standing. Everybody in that building was standing and facing me and clapping for me at that moment. And God gave me that moment to say, hey, you're doing the right thing, And he's given me moments like that. When I got the phone call to come to that kindergarten thing, remember it's talking about the kindergarten? So when I got the phone call, hey, will you come be there for these kids?
Guest of honor.
Yeah, well, yeah, I wasn't as a guest of honor, but I was, and they definitely made me feel good, And, I still get phone calls from the parents,
Yeah, that's insane.
and I get those kind of things. And God just continues to give those to me throughout my life to make me to encourage me to keep going. And right now, working with the special needs kids, I'm really hoping I have that same impact for them. They might not be able to look back,
Yeah.
and vocalize, but when you get this little kid that leans his head into you, that means he likes you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like, oh, he loves me, and they'll get right here. It's just it's so rewarding. But God gives me those things and to encourage me. And so, but I feel unworthy a lot of the times. I really do. So there's that. So if you're ever feeling unworthy, you get that from me. I'm just saying. But anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you know what? I that's another thing though. I hate when I make you feel that way.
No, you've never made me feel like that.
I'm sure.
I
Well,
mean,
remember
I
the dog?
promise.
Remember the dog? The lie? The dog?
Tomate?
Yeah. You don't remember that blow up in our
I
house?
do, but that didn't
Yeah.
make me feel unworthy.
Oh, okay, not unworthy.
We
Made
already knew
feel
you were
bad.
gonna be mad about it. Or we
Yeah,
already
but
knew.
the things I said, which were not intended to make you feel or they weren't intended to come out the way they did.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't even remember what you said or what happened. I just remember being like, we already knew she was gonna be mad or act the way she did. So it wasn't like it didn't really surprise us, to be honest. So don't. Yeah, but you've definitely never made me feel unworthy.
Okay, well, good. Maybe unworthy wasn't the word I was looking for. I feel unworthy, but maybe that wasn't what I was looking for there. But I don't know. That was a big thing.
That was a big thing. I remember. I don't even want to.
Well, I love Tay, and and these are the things that I've learned over the 50 years.
Yeah.
I've learned, like it wasn't my business.
It was your business because we asked you though, or it was. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I remember we
You
talked
lied
about
to
it.
me. That's how it happened. You were lying about the dog, and then I found out, and then I was like,
But why didn't we?
because you knew I would be mad, and I would say all the things that I said, and so you were like, we're not even gonna say anything to her. And
But
so
I think we were gonna tell you we were waiting, but I mean,
yeah, but
ended
you
up
didn't, and then I
getting
found
told.
out,
Yeah, well,
and then it was all
you
lie.
didn't.
And and that's a big thing for me is
Excuse
I
me.
want to be so I want you to have, this is one of my 50 years what I've learned. It's called an unconditional welcome. I want you to know that you can come to me anytime, any problem, any situation, anything, and you can tell me, and I'm not gonna be stupid.
I
You
mean,
know what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like I do that regardless. Like, but I get what you're saying. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying, but I mean,
But you didn't with the dog.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, we're getting a dog, Mom, and I'll be like, great. What kind you getting? That's
Yeah.
That's what I want to say.
I see what you're
Hey,
saying.
Mom,
I see what
we're
you're
getting a
saying now.
5th cat. Wonderful. What
We only
color
have
is
two.
it? I know, I'm just like,
Ain't no
but,
more cats.
You know what I'm saying? Those
Yeah,
are the things
no,
like,
I understand what you're saying.
Hey, we're buying a motorcycle, and that's where I put my foot down. No,
Yeah,
and no, you know what I'm saying? Like those, but I need to be able to just receive you as you are, because you're your own person, and I am your mother, but you are not 3.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
And remember, do you remember that day I showed you that picture? I should have had it ready for this. I didn't think about showing it to you, but
What picture?
the one of you, me, and Brendan, and or it's me, and I'm in like a greenish outfit with a
Were
like
we
a
babies
vest.
or something?
Yeah, you were like 2.5 or so, and you guys are on either side of me in that picture. Anyway, and I said to you, one day I sat you down at the table. It was when you're homeschooling. And I sat you down, probably crying when I said it. But I said, look at this picture. I want you to see something. I said, this is how I see you. I don't see you as teenagers right now. When I look at you, I don't see a grown man.
Yeah.
I see my little 3-year-old that I want to,
I don't remember that.
except you had short hair then.
Yeah, well.
I'm just teasing. But so that's my heart is always seeing you as my child, but I have to realize that you are an adult, and I need to see you as that. I think it'd be healthier for me to see you as an adult and not my little 3-year-old. And that's where, does that make sense? Like I had to let you be an adult.
I feel like that's a mom thing though. Like,
well, you always be my son. You
No,
always
yeah,
I always
but
have that
seeing my little
memory of
baby,
you and
yeah.
and all those things, but seeing you as an adult and letting you be an adult and make your decisions, whether I like them or not, because they're not mine. They're yours, and it's your life, and I have to let you live it. And that's not just for you, my son. That's for me looking at, as a Christian, watching young people grow up or be in the church. That's kind of where I learned it, from watching the church people over there do what they did to some of the people there
Yeah.
and go, wait a minute, that's not your life. You don't get to rule their life. You are not their God.
And then it, bing.
Yeah, and it really was. And I don't, so I don't want to be that.
No,
people.
yeah.
I don't want to do that. All right, so we covered God again.
It's okay. I don't.
Uh,
You said, well, I guess that's probably some of your regrets. You said, I don't remember what else you said. Because I knew it was gonna be like a thing where it was like, you talk and you're just it's talking. Like I knew it was gonna be hard to find something for you to,
I'm a yapper.
conversate about that. Not like that, but I'm saying to conversate about. But I was trying to think of what else you had brought up. Like you said,
What have I learned?
you could say that. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. Saying like that's what I was saying. All the things I've learned over 50 years, and now I want to apply those things. So I mean, these are some things, and I think directly with you, I'm talking about things that relate directly with you, like religion and the cancer and I don't know what else we talk about. School, yeah. So, but I'm gonna think. I have a lot of regrets because one of my big regrets in parenting has been putting you in places you should have never been.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. Don't need to expound on it, but just that's something that I really struggle with a lot. Another thing that recently got me was how at my age when I was having you, so like 18ish, all the way to like probably 30, and maybe even after that. I would, yeah, because it would have been even after I was married when we were homeschooling. Is like I was so wrapped up in my world or my I'm gonna call it self gratification, but my growth and my health and my all about like I put other people, the kids or okay, so let me pinpoint one thing I'm talking about is when I left Uriel, when I left Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That really, I look back at that and I don't regret where I am today.
No, yeah.
At all. I believe everything I did was, what I was supposed to do or whatever. But I think it was the way I did it. And at the time I felt, looking back as I didn't consider everybody's feelings in that.
Yeah.
And then after that, not, then separating you and your brother and Brennan from him for a while. And, and Leo was going with him because he was a dad, but
yeah,
and it didn't at the time occur to me the damage I was doing to you guys. And it breaks my heart now to think back, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Like, again, I had to, it took me 50 years to learn all this. And that's one of the things I'm like, oh gosh, I hope nobody ever does that to their kid. Don't like, I should have never kept you guys from him.
I don't know if it's trauma block or what it is, but I don't really remember. I don't even remember when y'all broke up, like, or you left, or I don't remember any of that, like, at all.
It was.
I don't know if it's like a trauma block thing or what.
Could be. But and just you went through all those changes and I forgot things too in my past, so I get what you're saying, trauma block or just I just choose not to remember because I have other things to think about. Now I got a kid, I got a podcast, I got things.
Yeah.
I got things. What even is this, What is this life? So it's I don't know, but I just feel bad, like, because I feel like things could have been different for you had I not, stepped in so hard like that and separated you from that. And even to Huriel, like, I don't know if this is weird, if you should put this in there, but I was like, even to the point where, like, I feel like I need to go apologize to him and say, hey, I'm really sorry that I left the way I did and that things went down the way they did. It wasn't, it was really because of my world at that time. This was, it was about church, it was about God, and it was, going a certain way, and it didn't feel like I was supposed to be with him. And I don't, the thing is, I probably never was. Not that I would ever regret Leo, but just those kind of things. It's like, how do you? Anyway, because I didn't go into the relationship for the right reasons, and there's so many pieces to that of why
Yeah.
I left. So it's not. I don't need to bring all that up. Just to say that I wasn't. I don't feel like I did it in a nice way, and sometimes I've been thinking lately, especially, I really need to go back and apologize.
And do it.
Oh, I will. I just haven't. We need to have him out fishing too, by the way. I
Yeah.
want to get him out fishing. But it hurts me that he has. It doesn't hurt me that he has the picture out, but that that's what he still feels,
Yeah.
and I feel so bad. I feel so bad, but I don't regret where I am or who I'm married to, or that I feel like I've done everything I was supposed to do. But it still hurts me that I hurt him.
Yeah, but you're saying that, but we all still have a great relationship. To me, that's still my dad. You know what I'm saying? So we
Yes.
still have a great relationship with him. You still have a great relationship with him. Like so, I mean, like I said,
He has been very gracious to
yeah,
still be kind to me, because
yeah,
I did not deserve it.
yeah,
I didn't. So I definitely appreciate him, and his friendship throughout the years, and being able to raise you guys together without conflict
yeah,
at
and still be
all.
able to go over there
Yeah.
when.
There was never a competition between us, and
Mm-mm.
he was always wonderful. He wasn't always in a wonderful situation,
Yeah, yeah,
but he was always wonderful to care about you guys, and he did from day
and
one.
he's in the. I mean, since I've he's in the best situation he's ever like
Yeah.
where he's at in life right now is the best he's ever.
Yeah, yeah, no, I follow you. I follow you.
I do want to get him on the podcast too, but I don't even know what. I probably just ask him stories about when we were young or like his military stories or something.
Oh,
I'm
he
sure he's
probably,
got.
yeah, those would be good.
Yeah, but dang, that was deep.
Okay,
What?
edit this. How long were you planning to talk?
I usually only go an hour, and
Okay.
we're at 57. That's what
Okay.
I was gonna tell you. I usually do an hour, but
Okay. Well, I didn't know, so I was like, I was like, I should have asked that before, because I could talk
no,
forever.
yeah, no, I know, but you're fine. We can do it more than one. If there's, like I said, there's anything you ever want to talk about, like, or it can be anything, or just if you want to, you know what I'm saying, like, it's nothing. I can just be like, okay, and then you come over there, come over here. Definitely be easy for you to come over there, but the only reason I came over here today is because I told you I would. Plus, I feel like it would be a better environment than my little sweatbox room. It's horrible. Like last night with Angel, I was doing it, and I got up and all back of my leg was sweaty.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
That's because there's no air conditioner in the room. And
Yeah,
you gotta close the
there's a
door.
fan, but you don't feel nothing. You don't feel anything. Grizz has his little fan, which that's nice, but still, it's still hot. Like I need to get an AC unit in that window, but I don't know how to do all that. But yeah,
Christmas is coming.
yeah. But
How long? No, that's not for that. Never mind.
but it gets in the winter. It's nice. Like obviously it's cool, so it's gonna be cool inside. But during the summer, during the day or at night, oh my gosh, it's horrible. And when we're doing this, I like to close the door because Lily's room's right there.
Yeah.
Plus Tay wants to come in and jump
Right,
on you, and
right.
the alarm's going beep, so it kind of muffles that. And then so we close the door.
Have you
and
tried
then
changing the batteries in that?
I tried the one that does it. I looked and I'm like, there's nowhere for a battery to go.
Oh, okay.
So I don't understand.
Okay, remind me next time. I always think about it, and I never.
Oh, it's horrible.
Okay, so here's one last thing. All right, so I've told you what like I want, like I wished for you, or I want, for those things. What is something that you would like for me to do for you, more for you, or does that make, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying different things. It could be what do you want me to do for you? What could I do to be more encouraging to you, to more spend more time with you, or to touch base with you more about, or you know what I'm saying? Like what would you wish from me?
I mean, I don't know, because like there's nothing like it. I'm not just saying this. Like I'm not just just saying, but it's like you do everything. Like I don't know. It's like you're not like I don't know. Move back over there so you're closer.
That's fair.
But seriously, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, but I mean, you. I don't know. You do everything like I think a mom should do, but I'm saying like I can't think of anything because there's nothing that like you
But
know.
you get to pick a day, a yes day. You ever heard of that? Where I say yes to everything
Yes.
you would do, right? So what what would be your yes day with me?
Let me come fish. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it sounds crazy, but like, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
fishing.
Yeah, literally.
just
like,
go fishing?
Come here so we can fish the thing.
What are we eating on your yes day? Meatball subs. Ta-da! Today is your yes day.
Oh, we're having
I'm
meatball
just like,
subs?
yeah,
Oh, heck yeah. I didn't know that.
and Caesar salad.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
And I have Pepsi.
Hey,
I think it's diet though.
soda at mom's house is crazy.
You know where I got it from?
No.
Grammy, because she said she didn't want Pop Pop to drink it.
Poor Pop Pop. Oh my gosh. But seriously, like, I'm not just saying that. I'm like, I feel like you're there and I need you. You're never not there. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
No, that's good.
and I'm not just, like I said, it sounds like I'm just saying it because
No,
you're a
no, no,
mom,
no,
but
no.
I'm being so serious. But
Well, I'm excited because we are going to go fishing. Yes.
yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go grab the shrimp.
Are we going to the
We're gonna go to the same place where Lily had caught the red. Just
Okay,
throw out
okay.
some lines,
I didn't
just
know if you
chill.
wanted to do ponds, but
No,
you said
no, no.
shrimp, so I
Yeah,
thought you
yeah.
meant the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, we have another pier too, though.
Really?
Yeah. It's a little bit. It's not as
I'd rather go to the one where she caught the red.
That's fine. We'll go to
Yeah.
the somebody rode their golf cart and hit the bench or broke the bench. Yeah, crazy. Right?
There's no bench in there now.
No. It just damaged it. It didn't.
Oh.
Well, I don't know actually. I
They
haven't
drove
been
their
down there.
golf cart down.
Yeah, what's that? I don't know. Some crazy old people.
See, look, she's hitting the urn. She's hitting the urn. We talked about that. We talked about that on the first episode. That's the urn. Crazy old people. That's hilarious, bro. Oh my god. But is there anything else you want to say in closing?
Favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert? Brownie Alamo has been my thing lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Favorite
but
dessert
you have to
I've
get the
made.
expensive brownies, not the little
The
cheap
Ghirardelli ones or something.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Oh,
Nicole be
Ghirardelli's a
getting them.
special chocolate. No, okay. That I make.
That you make peach cobbler.
Do you like blueberry cobbler?
I've never had that before.
I made blueberry cobbler. I was hoping you said cobbler because
Oh.
I made some, but I got some, but it's a pancake because I forgot to put this baking powder in it. But it's got fresh blueberries. So I was hoping that would be on your yes day.
Blueberries
You know
are
what I'm
good.
saying?
Blueberries are good for testosterone and protein.
Fantastic.
Right? Yeah, that's what 5 told
They're
me.
antioxidants too.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
hydrate, right? Is that what the antioxidant means? Or it cleans your
No,
skin? Please.
eh,
God.
Both of those things, Andrew. But well, you just edit that out. No, but antioxidants fight cancer.
Oh. Why does
But I believe antioxidant does mean clean.
yeah.
So like you're.
Well,
and
I
it
was
fights
still way
against-
off.
so-
She's trying to fix it. Look.
No.
still
But
way
I think
off.
you're right. I think I said fights cancer. But it does. But antioxidants is that it actually does the cleaning. So yeah. I remember how we used to. You want to see another blessing the guy always gives me, and then we can wrap this up. But remember at the other school they'd have leftovers, and I'm like, I don't know why, but. Because when I grew up, we always had food. We never starved.
Yeah.
And even when we, had our toughest times, we had food stamps. So we wasn't
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but they had at this school, so they would always tell me that I couldn't stand to see food thrown away.
Yeah.
And because I would see a bag of beans and go, I could make enchiladas with that.
Yep.
Or I would see this or that. And I'm like, I could make this and that, and I could do this and that. And so my freezer was full of food. God just so blessed. I mean, like I had my freezer stacked so much that when I moved, I actually had to get rid of some stuff, consolidate, get rid of stuff that we definitely weren't going to eat. Like,
Yeah.
But all the beans, I had 1 million bags of beans when we moved into this house, and I had to try and fit them into our little tiny freezer because this place is so small. Well, we have since ate all of that. We really did. And so, but now at this school, the kids get free lunch, free breakfast, free lunch. So every morning at breakfast, they come through and they get their little things. And some of the kids don't touch what's on their tray, but they go through the line anyway.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nah, I don't want it. And they'll have their little cereals, their little juices, and it's orange juice, milk, a juice, milk. They have to get 2 fruits, and then they can get the entree. Sometimes it's just a piece of cinnamon toast or whatever. It's anyway, they go through this line. They don't eat what's on the tray. Guess who takes it home?
Yeah.
This girl. And I got like my refrigerator full of chocolate milk and,
where they were
apple
saying something with the
juice
chocolate
and
milk.
orange juice and the fruit. And so what I do is when I bring the fruit home, I have made baked apples and brought it back to the kids. These were their apples.
Oh,
But you have to give them, like sometimes they need an opportunity to taste the fruit in a different way. And because it's texture, it's crunch. They
Yeah.
can't bite an apple. These are little kids, they need to cut up or whatever. So I was never that nice to you and cut your apples. I'm saying, eat this apple, boy. But
I hate them.
so that was, I made baked apples for them, and I was making the blueberry cobbler, and that's where the blueberries came from. But I still have stacks of them in there, and I forgot to put I guess I forgot, but it was because I had to wait because we had to buy milk. So I never. Anyway, baking powdered in it, so it's more like a pancake. I don't know where I was going with that, but I got a lot of fruit in my friend.
I don't know.
Oh, I was trying to say God bless us like that. He has really blessed us in the sense that, over the 50 years, I can say that much. He's blessed us. We've always had food, whether it was food stamps or the school giving us food or this school, taking the kids' food.
That they didn't need.
But here's the thing. They were literally going to put it in the trash.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So we got Crustables. We get sandwiches, salads. It's crazy because they don't even open it. Even open it. Now the strawberries that they lick the cream off of, I don't take them home.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
good. I'm good. One time I had an apple and I have my Para Stephanie. She goes, that one has a bite in it. I was like, oh,
Throw it.
Anyway,
but I will say, because you're this old school you were talking about, faith or whatever. I said the only thing that came good out of it, but the one thing I can look back and be like, what came out of that school is I did not like when they make the pasta salad. I never ate it. One day I was getting off of Nicole's picking me up after work after I got off Dave's, and I'm like, do you have anything from the school that they gave you? So I just need something, like snack. She's like, I got this. And it was the bag of pasta salad. I'm like, I don't like that. She's like, have you ever tried it? I'm like, no. She's like, just try it. And I ate it. And because I think Anna remembers too, but I don't know. But Nicole, she was getting it for her, but it was like a Ziploc bag full of it. And I had a piece, bro, because we lived right there from Dave's. It was it's like a 7-minute drive. I ate the whole bag. And ever since then, I'm in love with pasta salad. Bro.
Does Nicole make it for you?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's good.
But yeah, Mama Justice, Twinsky, Andrew, whatever you want to call it. Episode 5. Appreciate y'all for watching. Like and comment, and we'll be back with the next one. Love y'all. We out.
What even is this?
What even is this?